I was having some issues past week. I couldn't sleep. I've been having trouble sleeping. I think it happens because the weather's changing. I don't know. Or also, it could have been the fact I was up all night last night because I was trying to remember what is the difference between insomnia and amnesia. And I'm just up all night worrying about that. I just don't know. All right. But that's a strange feeling, though. Like if you're just laying awake in bed. And you want to know what's another strange feeling? Let me go into this one. Have you ever found yourself staring at a deadline like I was today? Because today I had so many things getting away. I didn't even start writing comedy until around supper time, right? I do have the news for you tonight, by the way. It's all there. But have you ever found yourself staring at a deadline and you have no real work done, and then you want to go to your teacher and beg for an extension? Because if you ever felt that, now you know how the UK feels right now. The Brexit deal.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. What else do I have here? Here's a guy said he met a girl at a club the other night, and she said, "I'm going to show you a good time." Okay, fine. So we go outside, and she did the 40-yard dash in 4.8 seconds. That sounds like a Rodney Dangerfield joke. Like, I ain't get no respect, I tell you. No respect.
Well, I know I'm not sexy. I dropped my pins. She dropped her price.
I should have sent you this joke. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you another joke, and then I'm going to hand things off to Synnove. And then after Synnove, since we don't have anyone else, we'll probably go straight to the news afterwards. How's that sound for everybody?
That sounds good.
All right. So here's my other joke, and it is, a girl and a guy are laying in bed after sex, right? And I think this used to be an Irish joke because, people, they make a big deal over are you Protestant or are you Christian? And where's the one place in the world where people worry about that? Because everywhere else, nobody gives a shit, right? Nobody cares, right? But anyway, there's a guy and a girl laying in bed after sex, and she turns to them and she says, "I need to tell you something. I used to be a Christian." And the guy said, "That doesn't bother me at all." And she responded, "Oh, thank God, that's a relief. I so much prefer being Christine." Get it? Christian, Christine, okay. Now, Synnove, Synnove's with us tonight, so Synnove, why don't you tell us some jokes and make us laugh, please? Give it up for Synnove, everyone.
Yeah. I've got something else, so I'll give it a try. I have one Lena joke, and this is from a long, long time ago when the technology was different, and VHS was the media choice. And Lena, she decided to do something crazy that she hadn't done before. So she set out to rent her first X-rated adult video. And she went to one of those stores like that they used to have, the dirty movie store, and after looking around for a while, she selected a title that sounded very exciting, and she drove home and lit some candles and slipped into something comfortable she was going to. She put the tape in the VCR, and she was disappointed. There was nothing but static on the screen. So she called the video store. She said, "I just rented an adult movie from nothing on the static." The clerk said, "Sorry about that. We've had problems with some of those tapes. Which title did you rent?" And Lena said, "It's called Head Cleaner." St. Peter and Satan, they were having an argument about baseball. Satan wanted the game to be played on neutral grounds between a select team from the heavenly host and his own hand-picked players. Well, St. Peter says, that's okay, but you realize we've got all the best players and the smartest coaches. And Satan says, he's not bothered at all. He says, I know, that's all right. We've got all the umpires. An engineer died, and he went to the pearly gates, and there was a newly anointed angel filling in for St. Peter, and he checked the records, and he said very grimly, oh, you're an engineer. You're in the wrong place. So the engineer was cast down to the gates of hell and was let in. And pretty soon he got dissatisfied with the level of comfort in that place, and he started designing and after a while the underworld had air conditioning and flush toilets and escalators, and this engineer, he was getting to be a pretty popular guy among the demons. One day God called Satan up on the telephone, asked, how's it going down there? And Satan laughed and he said, we're doing great. We've got air conditioning and flush toilets and escalators, and there's really no telling what this engineer is going to come up with. And God's face clouded over and he says, you've got an engineer? That's a mistake. He should have never gone down there. Send him up here. And Satan shook his head. He says, no way. I like having an engineer on the staff, and God got real mad as he'd ever been. He said, this is not the way things are supposed to work. You know it. Send him back or I will sue. And Satan laughed. He says, yeah, right. And just where are you going to get a lawyer?
True.
There was a Christian lady. She lived next door to an atheist. And every day the lady prayed and the atheist guy could hear her, and he thought to himself, she sure is crazy, praying all the time like that. Doesn't she know that there isn't a God? He doesn't exist. And many times while she was praying, he would go to her house and harass her, and he kept saying, why do you pray all the time? Don't you know there's no God? But she kept right on, and well, one day she ran out of groceries, and as usual, she was praying to the Lord, explaining her situation, and thanking him for what he's going to do. As usual, the atheist heard her. Well, this time he thought to himself, I'll fix her. So he went to the grocery store, and he bought a whole bunch of groceries, and he took them to her house, dropped them off on the front porch, rang the doorbell, and then he went and hid in the bushes. And she opened the door, and she saw the groceries, and she started to praise the Lord. She jumped up and sang and shouted. And the atheist jumped out of the bushes, and he said, you crazy lady, God didn't buy you those groceries, I did. And on here, she heard this, and she broke out and started running down the street, shouting and praising the Lord. And he finally caught up with her, and he asked what the problem was. She says, I knew the Lord would provide me with groceries, but I didn't know he was going to make the devil pay for them. And that's what I've got for tonight.
All right, give it up for Synnove, everybody.
Thank
Yay!